Hey, what's going on, everybody? Christian Hanna Horror here, and today, guys, I want to talk to you about a movie that I've been meaning to do a review on because it just so well deserves it, number one, and it's a movie I just think needs as much help as it could possibly get because I really do adore this movie. That is Behind the Mask, The Rise of Leslie Vernon from Scream Factory. Now, I'd be remiss not to give you guys a little bit of my history with this film before I talk to you guys about this. So, around 2009, 10, when I was really getting into horror movies, I went through this phase of buying a lot of used DVDs at Blockbusters, yeah, they still were around at this point, and other stores, and coming across this bad thing of buying movies with really cool cover art and the movies just letting me down, and it was really putting me in this blunder. And it was a typical day just like the rest, and I went to a game exchange and saw a DVD for a movie called Behind the Mask. Well, when I saw the cover art, I was like, well, this looks incredible, but I was putting it back on the shelf, and I kept grabbing it again and putting it back, and I was like, just give this a shot, Christian. If this isn't a hit, just stop buying whatever movies you see that have good cover art and learn your lesson. I owe a lot to this movie because it almost as silly as it sounds, it almost saved me from stop finding and trying to get into movies that I have no knowledge about, and it really did in a sense, because this was like the last straw for me when I bought the DVD version of this years ago. And it's interesting, when I get the movie in the car, I'm looking at the premise, and I was instantly again telling myself, you just screwed up, because I'm thinking to myself, okay, a movie about a serial killer that has a film documentary crew filming him, this sounds absolutely ridiculous. If somebody would have told me an idea for doing a movie like this, I would have said, that makes no sense. That sounds utterly ridiculous. That sounds utterly bad. I was so pleasantly surprised when I watched this movie how much I absolutely loved the film. Fast forward a few years later, I remember about this film, I'm thinking about this film, and I go to get a Blu-ray version because I wanted to rediscover this film in a sense for myself, and sure enough, Scream Factory put this movie out. We'll talk a little bit about the Blu-ray, and I'll review the movie real quick. Here we go. It really is a oddball of a movie. We've got this film documentary crew that wants to go out and film this guy he is this serial killer that gives these people permission, and he is going to start his great journey as a serial killer, and he's going to let these people document him leading up to his big attack, leading up to what motivated him to become a serial killer, his hero, so to speak. And it sounds funny and ridiculous, right? And quite frankly, it is. This movie has this uncanny ability to suck you in with every shot, and I want to give a lot of that credit to Nathan Brissell, the star of the movie, who plays the character of Leslie Vernon. And it's hard to put into words, but like I said, this movie has this uncanny ability to suck you in with every single scene. And it's quite remarkable, honestly. This movie does kind of pay homage to, the Freddys, Michaels, and Jasons, and that's kind of what Leslie is inspired by, along with his personal inspiration, which you meet in the film, another serial killer that he kind of looks up to and is a protege of, and it's ridiculous. And it is a comedy, but it's not blatant comedy. It's comedy from the performances, and it's comedy based on the delivery of these actors, almost in a sense of like the way Return of the Living Dead is funny, but it's not supposed to be funny. It's because of the situations. It's in that sense where this comedy is very genuine and it's very authentic, and I think that's another reason this film is so utterly fantastic. This film got me in the same way I thought this was going to be. The movie's making no sense. They're documenting the serial killer who is going to have this great night to start his reign of terror, and they're going to be able to just videotape it. Like, wouldn't that stop the serial killer? Like, wouldn't they be able to turn it into the cops? And without spoiling the movie, this film slapped me in the face to make me realize I didn't realize what was going on. This movie really, genuinely surpassed any expectations I had. I give this movie a solid 5 out of 5. There doesn't need to be a sequel to this. There doesn't need to be more, because this tells the perfect story. Now, as far as this Blu-ray release, the picture quality is really good. It's a 1080p transfer. It doesn't have a 4K looking shine to it, but with this being a found footage type movie, although not all of it is, it definitely fits the look of the film with this transfer. They kept the quality of the essence of the film, so to speak, with this Blu-ray transfer. You know, this Blu-ray sports a wonderful making of, interviews with the cast, commentaries by Nathan on the film, and this film is a hidden gem. This film is an absolute hidden gem. And I've heard people say, well, oh, the reason it got, you know, kind of lost in the shuffle is because Hatchet kind of took some steam away from the film. I don't know that that's necessarily true. I just think in the mid-2000s, so to speak, around 2006, when this movie came out, horror was simply Saw and remakes. That's what was really popular. Now, this film has garnered a cult following, but I dare say if the movie came out today, that's still the way it would have to go, because it's such a strange little movie that it would have to build its following as time goes along. And that's the best thing for this movie, I think. So, I could not recommend Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon enough. This is a film that needs to be experienced to truly understand how lovingly enjoyable of a film this is. So, I definitely recommend getting your hands on this Blu-ray of Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. You can get it on Amazon. Check eBay. I think it's still in print. Like I said, go to Amazon. If you got Prime, you can get it in 2 days. Shouldn't be more than $23, $24. One of the coolest Scream Factory releases to do this movie. So guys, that is Behind the Mask: The Rise of Leslie Vernon. 5 out of 5. One of the most enjoyable movies I've seen in a long time. So thank you guys for watching this video. This is Christian Hanna Horror. We will see you guys next time.